it just goes to show that when you do something and you do it very well,
Yes.
and you cement your name, you engrave, right?
Yeah.
Your name
Yeah.
in it's like the sands of time.
Yeah.
It will never be forgotten.
It would. That's why they said good name is better than riches. That's what
Yeah,
the Bible says.
it will never be forgotten.
I mean,
even though
once-
there are Gen Zs who don't know who Azuma Nelson is.
They don't.
They don't. It will surprise you. They don't. And it's sad, you know. The other day, my little niece, I was listening to a Kojoenchi song, and so her mom was there, and there was a conversation, and we mentioned the name Kojoenchi, and she said, "Who's that?" And it kind of broke my heart a little bit, like, "Oh, please don't ask that question," you know. But that's the thing is, it's the same thing because we also came from a generation where we didn't know who certain people were. Our parents would talk about them and how great they were.
Yeah.
But we didn't know and we didn't care. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So
That's true.
eventually there will be, you know, this generation that will not know who people are. And it's not such a bad thing.
Well, I believe there are some people that no matter the generation we're in, they will still be remembered. Yeah.
Like Michael Jackson.
Like Michael Jackson, like James Brown, like
Yeah.
Kwame Nkrumah.
They say
Like-
the name Michael Jackson is as popular as the brand Coca-Cola.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
King
there's
of
no
Pop.
way you go and say his name and find that people don't know who he is. Why is that?
Well,
Why is that? Why?
I believe it's because of the impact he had
Yeah. Impact.
on the world and not just his country. So, yeah.
Interesting. Now, our conversation really today is about the good old days. It's a Thursday. We're throwing it back. Star FM is celebrating 10 years. So we want to throw it back to the good old days. Some of the things that we used to enjoy that today's generation or today's child may not exactly relate or appreciate, right? Let me start. One of the things that I loved to do was recording on a cassette. No, seriously, I remember one time my grandfather really beat me because here's the thing, like back then when we're listening to radio and you hear a song that you like, you need to record it
Yeah.
so that it records on the cassette so you can play it back
Yes.
when it's not playing on
Yeah.
radio. But you need to get an empty cassette to do that. And because I didn't have an empty cassette, I went to get a cassette that belonged to my grandfather that already had his songs be on it.
And you recorded over
And the
it.
trick was that even if there are songs on it, once you record, it erases
Yeah.
the songs that were already on.
Oh, yeah, I understand why you were beating.
I was. But I mean, today's generation will not understand that struggle, will they?
No, they won't.
They will not. Even
pick up
before
a
the
phone and-
CDs, even before the CDs came,
know.
the cassettes were there, right? And then I remember one time too, and back then our parents were pretty, I won't say strict, but they wanted things done the right way.
They were.
Okay, they were strict.
They were.
Okay, let me know. I was trying to make it sound better.
I remember how my mom beat me some time ago. I've never forgotten that day.
You thought she was
They
not your
were.
mom.
No, I knew. I became used to it.
You know,
It was-
sometimes they beat you so much. You think, is this woman really my mother?
She is. I mean, I came to... My dad never beat me, though.
I know.
Never.
You
But
think-
my mom...
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
But aren't you happy she did
I
that?
am.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because everything, there are things I try to do today, and while I'm at it, I'm like, what if my mom just pops up and comes to...
But she's in your head.
She is.
She's in your head,
she
right?
She very much is.
I love that. It's part of the reason why I always say that parents should mind the language. And when I say language, I don't mean literal language. I mean the way you speak to your child, right? It becomes a language is in their minds, right? For the rest of their lives, they would hear you. You become their inner voice.
Yes.
Right? Like there are days that the first time I got a tattoo, when I went to the place and I was going to get it, I heard my mom in my head. I heard her saying, "Eh."
I
heard her pa in my head. No, because they,
Yeah.
you know when you're doing something, you know if your mom was there, you know
Yeah.
exactly what she would
Yeah.
say.
So
You know
let
it.
me tell you a story.
Tell
Let
me.
you a funny story. My kid sister, I'm sure she's listening right now. She's a comedian. I mean, when I tell people she's a comedian, they think I'm the one that's a comedian. But she likes to play a lot. And she sent my mom a WhatsApp message and told her she wanted to get a piercing, an extra piercing.
All right.
And the voice note my mom sent her, she had to screen record it and send it to me and post it on TikTok and everything. Because you dare not even think about it.
Don't try it.
You dare not.
Don't try it.
I can't go to my mom and tell her I'm going to get a tattoo. I had to braid my hair for a role.
Right.
The last time I came here, I told you I was going to see her to shoot a
you
movie.
braided your hair.
And when she saw it the first time, she was like, I took Amina. Now you know a Chinese hairstyle and other.
But I mean, for me, the trick is that at some point, obviously, when you become adult, you're responsible for your own decisions and your choices. But when I'm about to do something like that, something I know she would disapprove of, I don't tell her. I will show her later. I mean, it's already done.
I mean, mine was for a movie, so it was done. When she saw it, I told her it was for a movie. Then she was okay. But immediately after the movie,
you just go and take it off.
to take it off.
Yeah, it was already done. Jerry, tell me, what is that one experience that sticks out to you from way back when, and you think about it now, you're like, wow, how times have changed.
Well, it might sound like a copycat, but it's the same thing as you said earlier on, the recording. Back in the days, we used to have this Walkman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I was doing the same thing.
Okay.
But I had to destroy most of my dad's cassette.
No.
And it was hell for me that
He didn't
day.
beat you.
He did.
Okay.
My dad wouldn't beat you, but give you some slaps.
Oh,
Yeah.
So you got some few slaps.
Yeah.
Put your mind back in order. Put your mind right back in order. Like, don't do that no more.
That's how I came to love music.
Right. Right. Interesting. And I also love the fact that, your parents from way back when will make sure that you do the right thing always.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have an excuse. You do the right thing always. And they didn't spoil us.
No.
When I say spoil, I don't even use that word loosely. As in, back in the day, you won't have parents asking you questions like, what do you want to eat today? And stuff like that. Because I have to ask my kids that question. When I wake up, I would say that, what do you want to eat today?
Yeah.
And they'll tell me and I'll make it.
And the funny thing is now, whenever I'm home,
Right.
my mom asks me every morning,
Right.
what are we eating today? And I'm confused because...
No, but your times have changed, and also because you're old. You're
Yes,
old.
but
you have already shaped.
I am
Right?
used to we wake up this morning, whatever food is available, mom has prepared it.
You eat
Everybody's
it.
eating.
Yeah, but
you don't
now-
even have the luxury of having allergies and reacting
But
to
they
certain
do that
foods.
when you're young because they want to shape you into becoming a person that will accommodate, like, whatever you find you
Yes.
can settle with, you're
Yes.
satisfied with,
Yes.
you're content.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
You are already shaped. So there's no need for her to continue that.
But
So now she can ask you what you want to eat because she knows even if she doesn't ask, whatever she gives you
till
eat.
today, I never have an answer.
You say, I
She
don't
asks,
know.
I tell her anything that's available.
Whatever you do, I'll
Yeah.
eat. Yeah, but me, I grew up and I changed, Charlie. Ain't nobody got time for that. No, but I think I was very rebellious, right? As a child. I mean, my mom tried. She tried. I know she did. Tried to put me up in shape, but I would rebel.
I've always been a good boy. I'm very
Thank God. Your mom should thank God for you. I was pretty rebellious. So I would, so for instance, you would have to brush your teeth first thing when you wake
First
up.
thing when you wake up.
First thing when you wake up. Growing up as a child. And then you have to brush your teeth before you go to bed. And I did that, the whole time. I lived with my parents, like the whole time, till secondary school, whatever. After that, I did that. But when I became an adult, like a grown person, I wake up and I eat. I'm sorry. I'm a grown person now. You know what I mean? I will do whatever I want.
Yeah, what you want.
I wake up and I eat, then I brush my teeth. I feel like the signs behind that. So I brush my teeth, then I sleep, right? So when I wake up, I eat, then I brush whatever I've eaten out away. Like for me, that's how my mind works.
I can't brush my teeth and then eat something and have that
exactly. And when I make an omelet, personally, I like to put. I have a very spicy palate, so I put habanero pepper in it, right? And I put garlic in it in my omelet in the morning. So imagine to eat that, right?
Definitely, you have to.
And then brush, eat, and brush again. Nah, man. So I'll just eat and then brush my teeth. But we had all these rules, like. You have to make sure the kitchen is clean and tidy before you go to bed.
That rule still exists in my house. I mean,
not me no more.
Well, if I live on my own, I mean, I do what I want. But once I come home,
and I wake up.
Just last week, I left some plates in the sink, and my mom went to see it, and she called me to the kitchen, and she was like, "You think you're grown, eh? So I can't beat you."
Yeah, but I think that also because. Even, when you're older, even when you live with your parents, the rules still apply.
Yes. Once you live
there, the rules still apply, regardless. I remember Kofi Kinata saying that, he went back home to his mom, and as soon as he said he had traveled. So he came back, he touched down, went straight home, and as soon as he went, put his suitcase down, his mother said, "Hey, Jena koto we brem." He was looking at his mom like, "But do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? You are sending me anyhow like this." You know what I mean? But they don't, like, mothers they couldn't be bothered.
We don't care.
Once you go, like, cause when
you're
I go,
their baby.
Yes.
Until Christ comes.
Yes.
You are her baby.
You can, because when I go home, like, if I go home to my mom's, I'm gonna have to do everything.
Yes.
That I used to do when I lived with her, like back then. You do everything. And it's like they can't see that you're grown.
No,
they still see you as...
You're her baby.
So they deal with you like, sometimes I look at it, but are you aware how old I am right now? Do you remember how old I am? Or what is going on? But even when you're saying things like that, I mean, obviously now we're grown, so there are certain things we feel like, oh, Bibi, wait, but even when you're saying you're afraid,
yes, it is.
Like, it's like you're joking, Bibi. It's like you're testing the waters.
Just last week, my mom told me to my face that if I think I'm grown and she can't beat me, I should rethink that.
You're saying it, but it's like you're testing the waters. We are fine, because least mistake. Probably flies this year. And the thing about that, they have a particular slipper that they used to threaten you.
Yeah. They all do.
Why? Why were they threatening us so much?
But I think it helped shape some of us.
Oh. But it traumatized some of us as well.
The trauma kept you out of trouble. If it did that, then...
Because you're always being threatened. Charlie, there are some days here, you do something and you're afraid to go home.
Yeah.
It's true. Because what is waiting for you when you get home? Like, oh my God, what am I going to do?
How do I explain this? When I think about it, I call home first. And I start talking about it before I get there.
To see what's going on.
Testing the waters. If it's safe for me to go home or not. Charlie. If it's not, then I'll probably not go home.
Charlie. You're testing the waters. See how it goes. So, but Jerry, did you grew up in Ghana?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, now away from our parents, let's talk about our friends. Like friendships, back in the day were so different. We would go out and play, right? I remember the boys used to climb the trees and all of that. Yeah, and all of that. I don't think that you can find, a random maybe 7-year-old or 8-year-old boy today who can climb a tree.
No.
Depends on the neighborhood.
Yes, it does.
Depends on the neighborhood.
Yeah, depends on
There's
where you find yourself.
Yeah, it depends on where you find. So there are certain neighborhoods that Charlie, they will show you something right now. 6-year-old crowd
Yeah.
will show you something.
Yeah.
But those neighborhoods are few.
When you step out of Accra,
Oh, when you step out of Accra, dear Charlie,
yeah,
it's a serious something.
yeah, because I know some hoods where don't go there.
And I love that. I
I
love
do.
that. I
That's how
love
I grew
that
up,
when
so-
I love that when you do not grow up in Accra, you learn so much.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
I know people who grew up in Takoradi and along the shores. They know how to swim.
Yeah.
Like it came with the territory.
Yes.
You live here, you should know how to swim. You know, and I know people who lived in Accra and they are 40 years and 45 years and Charlie, they are still afraid of water. Like they don't know how to manage.
Yeah.
You know. And there are some other areas, like if you go to the mining areas, all these young kids, they have such a hustling spirit,
Yeah.
and they're so business minded. Like at 10 years old, he'll tell you he has a business.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey.
That's how it is where we are. So.
And it's scary.
Yeah.
You know, like when you go to like Takwa and it's Bogoso, those environs, like you see a 12-year-old who
Yeah.
he, with his full chest is there. He owns a business.
Owns a business. Yeah.
Hey, look like this 12-year-old, like,
I grew up in Swindle,
right.
so you can imagine if I had not come to Accra earlier, I probably have turned out like Patapa, but
As in a musician.
Patapizi.
As in a
I
musician.
mean, I would be a Patipa soldier, active Patipa soldier by now.
But people in Soweto, what is it that they do mostly?
Mostly farming,
Farming.
trading.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Very interesting.
farming and trading.
Farming and trading.
Yeah.
Very interesting. But you know what I also find? I also find that people who do not grow up in Accra, right? When they come to Accra, they're usually very successful.
Yeah.
Usually.
I think it's because of the training you have. There are opportunities here. There's a lot of opportunity in Accra. So when you grow up somewhere where there's less opportunity and you are hardened and you are trained to be able to take care of yourself, and then you find yourself here and the opportunities are up for grabs, then you just take them. So I think
Yeah.
it's the training, it's how you're brought up. I know
Yeah,
some people who
usually.
will come from there and still not succeed and go back.
Right.
But if you're ambitious enough,
They usually are.
yeah.
They usually are very ambitious. And also because people who are born and raised in Accra, they are so relaxed. They feel like they are just there.
Yeah.
Easy, yeah.
They are
We
just
just
they are just
I mean,
easy breezy.
Yeah.
You know, they are not as ambitious.
it's the ambition.
Yeah.
Because if you live in a deprived area of a sort, and it's hard for you to even have 3 square meals a day, and your aim is to feed your family, that's the only thing you're exposed to. And then you find yourself in Accra where you can make enough money to do that, then you will.
Right.
But if you live here and growing up, everything is okay. Even if you're not from that rich a family and you going to the mall is leisure for you. Going to a restaurant is a regular thing for you and your family. That's not your target.
Yeah.
Those people tend to have higher targets. I mean, I want to become a pilot. I want to do this. I want to own business, those big businesses. So they are relaxed when it comes to the regular everyday things.
Right.
But there's somebody out there who does not have access to the regular everyday things. So when they come here and they see that it's up for grabs.
Yeah, they would.
They would
Yeah.
definitely.
It's the same way when Ghanaians travel abroad.
Exactly. Exactly.
They are pretty much successful. They are like, Charlie, they won't sleep and they have a lot of discipline when they travel. Jerry, tell me something. What was the first phone you ever used? Your first mobile phone?
What? Is it Nokia 3310?
Really? Nokia 3310. That was your first phone? Wow. And I'm sure at the time you enjoyed it
A lot.
a lot. You must have been one of the few people with phones with mobile phones at the time. Yeah?
If I could remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was the first person in my family to use a phone.
To use a phone, a
Yeah.
mobile phone, you
Yeah,
mean? Wow.
I can still remember my number. It was 0244
Okay.
So,
That's interesting. But I think the first set of phone numbers for mobile was actually with Vodafone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at the time, it wasn't called Vodafone.
020.
It was a 020.
Yeah,
It wasn't called Vodafone. I don't remember what it was called, but it was a 020. Yeah, that was like the first set of mobile phone numbers in the system. What was your first phone?
Well, so I didn't have a phone of my own until about 2006.
Okay.
But
And
the
what
very
phone was
first
that?
phone I had access to use was Gateway. That was a brand.
Okay.
Gateway, and it was big, heavy.
oh yeah,
And
black one.
it belonged to an auntie of mine in Sodro. So I would wait when everybody's asleep.
Then you use it.
I'll pick it up
To
and
call
then
who?
explore. No, not
Oh, okay.
necessarily call somebody. I
Okay.
didn't have anybody to call.
Yeah.
But I'll explore, go through everything, play games, do everything. By the time she wakes up the next morning, her battery is low. And she's
Oh.
asking, and those batteries lasted,
I know.
but I would finish it.
You'd finish it.
And I remember the first time I put the phone on vibration, and she took it to her room, and she was asleep, and this phone started vibrating. And the whole house had to wake up.
No.
Because it had not happened before. I mean, I was just going
Right.
through it. I saw what it was, I just selected it.
All
And
right.
this was like 2001, 2002. And she woke up, brought the phone to me. What's happening to my phone? What's happening to my phone?
Yeah.
And I looked at her, I said, oh, it's on vibration. Let me remove it. But the
That's
phone I
interesting.
owned, I think it was a Nokia,
Okay.
2006. And I've had the same number since then.
Yeah,
I've
I've never
one
changed
number
my number.
since-
Yeah, I've never changed my number. It's the same number. People who have known me from 2 decades ago will still call me and it comes through. So
Yeah.
I've never changed my number. Interesting. Now let's talk about free night calls before we wrap this up. I'm sure that we all have experienced it. Wasted our time thinking that we were in love with some people, Charlie. It's like, yeah, man.
Oh,
You
Lord.
stay up the entire night talking
Lord
to
God
somebody because
Almighty.
you think you're in love.
Well,
How silly we were.
I didn't think it was because I was in love.
Why else would you stay up talking to somebody till morning?
I loved making friends.
Oh,
and
please.
I had the opportunity.
Massa,
I had
massa,
free credit.
Massa. Jai agro no agro shemo yo here. Jai
But seriously,
agro
the
na
person I
within.
actually remember talking to a lot with free night calls, it's not somebody I even asked out before. I never asked her out.
So you must have been bored then. Now you're bored, oh.
It wasn't just boredom. It was like the opportunity was there. I had free nights. I could do free night calls. So even if during the day we don't talk, we shift everything to the night. And I could talk from midnight till 4 a.m.
Yeah, that was the time.
Yeah.
You talk and talk and talk and talk.
Before
And you
so
talk,
by-
and there's a thing about talking to somebody around within those around that time, right? I mean, they have to be somebody that matters.
yes.
Yep.
That's
Obviously, calling anybody after midnight.
No, it wasn't just anybody.
It has to be somebody of a certain value to you, because I mean, no way I'm sacrificing my sleep for just anybody. You know?
It wasn't just anybody. It's just
Okay.
that we didn't get to that point where we.
Right.
we
I don't want
had
no
to
bonyo
go.
man. Oh yeah, Mr. B.O.P.
Oh no, please.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
Mr.
not.
B.O.P.
I don't know if she's listening.
Shall
right
go
now.
near Mpoa.
No.
Akobo off bar.
Hey, please. And of course, it's a she. I mean,
And see what
there
happened.
was a lot of people who thought we were going out, but
You just didn't get around to doing it.
she
to
was a
asking.
very good friend, very
See,
special
yeah.
friend.
We are, I know.
Trust me.
We are my lazy.
I'm not, you can open the phone lines. I know people.
We
who
are,
call-
I know quadro.
people will call to testify.
We are, I know quadro. Oh, testimony.
I have testimony.
Jai. We are, I know quadro. Jerry, who did you do the free night calls with?
Well, surprisingly, the person I had the free night call with happens to be the one I am still with now.
Wow.
Sweet.
Oh no, we need to give you a reward. Star FM is 10 years old. This deserves a reward.
Yeah.
Really?
You sure do.
How long ago was this?
Okay. This was 2007.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Till date. Yeah.
Till date. 2007 is like what?
That's
17,
like
16, 17 years?
17 years now.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's cool.
It's really cool. I love that.
Does that thing still exist? Free night calls?
Yeah, no be there. Hey, we cannot even tell the story. We cannot. But anyway, I'm not. I was never big on, free night calls. Obviously, because I wasn't calling anybody per se, but I'll have this and that person trying to call me, and me, no, Charlie, I was reserving my voice for better things. So I would talk sometimes when I feel up to it, but I won't. There's always been a thing about me. I value when somebody says they like me. I always want. I don't want more than I don't want just words. I've always wanted more than just words, right? And so I felt like if you valued me enough, you won't wait for free. You won't call me with free. I won't say I won't check. I only make us have. You know what I mean? Call me during the day for an hour when you know you're paying for it. Do you understand? Then I feel like, okay, there's value there. Now, free night call, dear, it doesn't come at any cost for you. Also, only make us have.
He's sacrificing his sleep.
And who's asking for that sacrifice? Not me. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Because I always like sometimes, it may not even be what it is, but I appreciate value. It may not be much, but I appreciate when people put value in things for me.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you should value me enough to want to use your airtime to call me.
Yeah.
Instead of waiting for a free moment to call me. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not about that life, innit? Yeah, so I mean, I spoke to a few people here and there, but actually, a free night thing, no, I wasn't feeling it. It's like, credits, not for friend me,
have a list of friends who I would talk to.
Yeah.
I spoke to a free night, but there's one particular person who I'm talking about who I really spoke to a lot.
A lot. And you guys got comfy and comfortable. But these days, men these days, you don't even know how back in the day, let's wrap this up really quickly. News is coming up. Back in the day, if a man was, moving to you, they were very decent, right? Like there was chivalry back in the day where a man wants to do nice things for you to see that they like you, They want to come and you're like be in your life for a minute, talk to you every now and again, take you out. Sometimes you go for walks, do this. Like they had the patience to be with you and show you. But today's man is in a hurry, innit? Because it's you and 99 others. So it's like ain't nobody got time for that. Oh no, cause I now say day 1, day 2, I show who should be. I say
I think most of us are confused.
We can say, hey, master.
Most of us are confused.
Then on to the next.
Because you never know.
You never know what.
You could spend time being all that lovey-dovey with a lady, and then in the end, it would really not end anywhere. And you say you're pentamo, but and then also there's whatever is going on in the world now. Female empowerment, gender equality that people have misunderstood and misappropriated. So you are never too sure
what's going to happen.
I don't have any problem with female empowerment. I don't have a problem with equality. If we do the same work, let's get paid the same. I don't have a problem with it. We are doing the same thing. Why?
Yeah.
But there are some women who have taken it a step further, and I think they are confused.
And what is the correlation between that and you?
So there are
woman?
some women who would ask you not to open the car door for her because she's equal with you, and if you do that, it means you are superior or above.
So you feel like the lines are blurred.
Exactly.
The line, you're not sure. Hey, can I
you're
do this? Can I not
sure.
do this?
Can I do this?
Can I not do this?
What do I do to sound
you
correct,
go to a restaurant with a woman and she's like, let's split the bill. and then it's like it feels like it bruises your ego a little bit.
That's what.
As for that one, it won't bruise your ego. You see?
But you see
your life. You see your life?
So you see, if I'll pull the chair for you, let you sit
Right.
down comfortably.
Uh-huh.
If I'll get a drawer for you, if I will pay the bill, I don't have a problem with it. But if we get to a point where you start to tell me, don't do it because we are equal. Don't do this because we are the same.
Oh, it may not be that we are equal, but it may be that, I feel like maybe this is what I want to do. Or sometimes you also want to put yourself in a place where the man sees you and will respect you for, let me share this experience. So one time I went out with this person who, let's have dinner, I'll take you for dinner. Mr. Torment. And one day I said, okay, no problem, let's go. And one of my favorite restaurants, let me big them up, is called Le Magellan. It's right here at Nyaniba. And so, we went there. And because I go there a lot, they have the best fried calamari in Accra. And that's a starter, and I do that a lot. So I went there, and because I go there a lot, the people, they know me. And I also have a thing about wine. I've said it so much, my God. I don't know how to drink wine in a glass. I don't drink a glass of wine, right? I drink wine sparingly, but when I get to drinking wine, I don't drink a glass of wine. I would do a bottle. That's it. That's it. So I go with this person. I order my stuff. I order the bottle of wine, which is pretty pricey. And in his mind, I'm doing that because I'm with him. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because some people have that unfortunate mentality
Yes.
that it is because you have come with me. I'm just like, Masa, I do that on my own on a regular. What's Masa? And so I could tell his demeanor was a bit some way. But I didn't mind because I'd never go anywhere with someone and order things that I cannot afford. I can afford it. So that, Charlie, you know what I mean. So when we finished, I asked the waiter to split the bill and let me pay for my stuff, and I did. And then I could see after I did, then his demeanor again changed. And I was like, Charlie, that's not the way things are. So sometimes you just have to let people understand. Sometimes it's just a way to let them understand that I came here for the company. Okay, because you wanted dinner. I came here for the company. I didn't come here so that you can take care of me. Jam home, I cry. You cannot take care of me, Masa.
We just have to communicate.
You know what I mean? So, but sometimes it is a way. Sometimes women just want to show you that it is not. Because these days also men have the whole mentality that, hey, if you meet a woman, she's coming to chop your money, this and that.
There are some people who are like that, but there are also genuine people.
Yes, people,
So
not
we just have to
everybody
communicate and
wants
find-
to come and chop your money and stuff like now. Sika cry thing. Anyway. Anyway, let's wrap this up. News updates coming up shortly. Thank you. Jerry, what do you want to say to your woman before we go? If she's listening. If she's not listening, we're recording it, so we'll send it to you so you give it to her. What do you have to say to her?
Well, I'm short of words, but I believe she knows best.
She knows best.
Yeah.
Yeah? Hey, he just rhymed. I'm short of words, but I believe she knows best. All right. All right. Yes.
Yeah, so Superfarm Productions, Superfarm Network is coming up with a stage play
Okay.
happening on 2 days, 17th and 18th of this month of August at the National Theatre. And we are calling on our fans to show up. We have Clemento Suarez, we have Willie Chambers, we have DeLong, we have Mark Pratt Dazi, Monica, and a lot of people. It's a big cast.
Okay. We
And
have
so the
Natalia.
national- You want to act with us?
Yeah, absolutely. Why not?
Let's go to rehearsal after here.
Yes, please. Take me with you.
And so please, we are calling on all our cherished fans to show up at the National Theatre on the 17th and the 18th
Okay.
of August and come laugh your hearts out.
Okay.
I mean, this is a stage play that's set at a wedding reception. And all the drama that happens at all wedding receptions have been put together.
Oh, nice.
People pilfering drinks and food. The drama that happens. You know, there's always that black sheep of the family
Oh, yes.
that causes trouble
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
All those people are going to be on stage.
Okay.
And you have to be at the National Theatre. If you want to buy a ticket, you can dial star 447 star 1059 hash, or you can call me. Hit me up on Facebook at Tadazi, and I'll personally deliver a ticket to you.
Okay.